whole nother set of battles coming your way for Street Fighter League Pro-JP 2021. This week we have our second matches for the biggest titans in Street Fighter V. My name is Vicious, here with Xian to let you know what's going on with the official English broadcast. Excuse me. Hope you guys have been enjoying all the matches thus far. We have ourselves another great one. Xian, we have ourselves the matchups that we've been actually looking forward to a lot. We have Nagoya Ojibata Star going up against Team Gyogun, as well as V6 plus FAV Roto Z. That's right, the entire gang going up against Mildom Beast. We've been pretty hyped about this only because of the potential matches that might come before us. But Xian, why don't you guys, why don't you break down what's been going down with the new format of Street Fighter League this year?
Okay, for all the beginners, that has just started watching Street Fighter League, so there's the home and away system. So the away team will be putting up their characters and their players first. So in the first match, you'll be first to 1, second match first to 2, second match will be a first to 2 as well, and the third match will be a first to 3. And the third match actually holds more points, which is 2 points, and one of the player will goes to reserve. The advantage of this is that the away team will actually have a big disadvantage because their characters and players will be counterpicked by the home team just because they have to show everything that they have, on the table, and the home team can take their time to choose what they want, what character they want to counterpick, or it can even be a player counterpick right there.
Yeah, so in comparison to what happened yesterday, we saw a couple of teams face off against each other with some pretty unprecedented results, right? Saishu-san Seoul Kumamoto played up against Good 8 Squad, ended up getting a tie game. And in that second match, Kamufan Detonation played off against Shinobiism Gaming, where we saw a full-on sweep 4-0, I think our first one, our second one for our away teams. And this is the exact schedule you could expect. We have another set of matches today, and then going on Thursday afterwards, even more players going at it. That's right, October 21st, we're going to see Good 8 Squad versus Nagoya Ojibata Star, then Gyogun versus Mildom Beast. We're switching it up day by day, actually getting, 3 sets of matches per week, a little bit more frequently than we're used to. But for the most part, how do you like the results? Do you think the results that we've seen thus far have been in line with your thoughts and what you were expecting, Xian?
I think there wasn't really any surprise so far. Like the stronger teams has actually gone to the top 4, and the bottom teams, the teams that are generally not as strong, has actually gotten. So this will be a highlight of the scores of yesterday, which is also this week, where you can see Good 8 Squad, having a tie 2-2 against Saishun-kan Seoul. That is a pretty good result for the away team, since, like I say, away team has to get counterpicked. But surprisingly, Shinobiism Gaming has actually gotten 4-0, 4 points straight, being on the away team. They have won every single match, and that is definitely a disappointing result for Team Detonation, as you can see, because being the home team, having the advantage to be counterpicking, you shouldn't really be losing all of it and getting 0 points. That is got a good sign, and I hope they will back it up in the following week.
It's tough, right? Even though you are in the home team, you have the home team advantage. Being able to counterpick somebody is only possible if you actually have the character to counterpick, right? One of the biggest surprises we saw from that day's matches was Saishu-san Seoul Kumamoto. We saw Yanai play for the first time ever because this is his first time in Street Fighter League and his debut overall in his matchups because he was actually sick beforehand. He had like a stomach flu going on. But when we saw him play, man, I'll tell you what, we became instant fans. He dismantled Pugera, I should say, in the Good 8 Squad matchup. Absolutely looking forward to seeing how he plays out because as it stands right now, when we saw those standings, there's still so many more games to play and it's still completely unpredictable as to what's going to happen for the rest of it. But I'll tell you what, we have ourselves the Nagoya Ojibata Stars versus Gyogun. We're going to get ourselves introduced to Gyogun very, very soon. But if you're looking at previous results, Gyogun hasn't really done as well. They're still currently at the bottom, with their only wins being against Team FAV.
And not only the only win, actually Mago is the only one that scored 2 points, being a Kemi Manat matchup in a close anchor match 3-2. And the rest of the teammate hasn't scored a single point. So Mago has been the carrier so far. So I would like to see, there you go, the leader and the handsome 2D god right here. Kemi has his mate.
All right, with Team Gilgun, there's just so much to look forward to. You see Mago, Machabo, Moke, the 3 M's, and of course, the one joining them. Boom! Mizuha. That's all M's, actually. It's 4 M's.
Yep, there are 4 M's, you know. Very coincidentally, there's been like the 4 M's. I don't know if this is pre-organized, but they seem to be a very happy team as usual. Every time they're opening, it's always full of smile. And now we're gonna have the home team introduction trailer.
Yeah, with the Royal Oja Body Stars, they have Akira, Oniki, Oniki being one of the new cats on the block, actually one of the newcomers who have joined the team. MOV, one of the seasoned veterans of Street Fighter overall, rocking that Chun-Li, and of course, last but not least, the Dictator winning like a devil, Dogura.
Both of these teams actually is in the bottom 3 position right now, you know, and so far, you know, this is the 2 Bison team, you know, just as well as Gyogun, which has a 2 Kemi, or we could also say that Moke has a sub Kemi as well. This has been proven that teams with actually repetitive character isn't really that good in a team tournament. So both of these teams has repetitive character. So I'm not sure if this is a coincidence, but I think that is definitely one factor that why they may be on the bottom 3 right now. There we go. We got a away. What do you think about this?
Mago, Moke, and Mizuha, Karen, Rashid, and Colleen. Very interesting. I like Mago being a little aggressive early on and saving Mizuha for last, but at the same time, that's kind of tough. Let me take a look. Mago statistically is the only one who scored a W, so you would think he would put himself in the anchor position. However, Mizuha still needs to kind of get himself into the game considering how he played earlier, and he was also benched from the last time he played after. So like his first debut game, not so hot. Second one, he got benched. Maybe putting him in the anchor position with Colleen, I think that puts a lot of pressure on him. I'm surprised they didn't put Machabo in.
Yeah, Machabo is actually a very solid pick, you know. And the thing is that Mago has been the anchor for 2 in a row already, you know, for his team. So I could really see how they don't want to put Mago once again as the anchor. There's so much pressure, you know, for the team leader. Like every single time you're gonna come up, you know, as the anchor, a 2-point match and a first to 3. So in a way, they may want to switch up their strategy. So Mago not being there may not be something surprising, I think, strategy-wise, being not so predictable.
Okay, this is gonna be pretty good. Dogura actually going up, both of the team leaders. Actually, it's so hard to say. Would Dogura be the team leader for Team Nagoya OG Body Stars, or would it be MOV?
I think both of them is kind of like the leader since there are 2 OGs in their team and there's also 2 young players, so it's a very well balanced team. I believe the choice of Dogura going up is because, you know, Mago is picking up carrying and Bison does have a pretty good, one of the pretty good counter against Karin. You know, Karin doesn't have a lot of bad matchup, but Bison is one of those that doesn't give him a pretty little advantage, little tough time. So playing according to the character advantage and disadvantage is something very logical. I could see Dogura doing well here. He has scored 2 points for his team in the previous week, so I look forward to see him doing good.
Yeah, this is gonna be a matchup that's not gonna be too bad. I feel like being able to navigate around the neutral space pretty quickly. You're utilizing that walk speed, you're utilizing normals that are highly bufferable, and you deal out pretty significant damage, all the while pushing into the corner. And you have somewhat of an escape option with meter and a 3-frame normal. I think it's going to be very interesting to see Mago face off in this matchup against Dogura. In the interview right now going on, MOV slept 20 hours yesterday. Oh
20?
man, but because he wasn't feeling too well during the season / climate change. I get that. I mean, you know, I'm glad that he's feeling better. And he dreamt 4 times in one day.
Wow, that's a winter season right there in Japan, so it has to be really cold right there. Sleeping 20 hours is still a little bit too much, you know. But I guess that's one of the reasons why he's on the reserve today. Maybe he's not on the full energy. He's not feeling himself, you know. But 20 hours is something that is very, very overdid. So it's very good that we don't see him playing. You know, although he has the nickname of MOV, which stands for Master of Vampire, you know, that doesn't mean you gotta be sleeping that long. Once again, I'm surprised that he didn't came out, you know, because I know he's pretty good at the Kemi matchup. He once did a first to 100 with Powell, one of the strong Kemi in Japan. You know, first to 100, you know, so I would expect him to be coming up against a Kemi team like Gilgun. But nope, he chose to be on the reserve side. So we'll see what his rest of the teammate has to offer right here.
When you're looking at the previous records, right, we talked about the standings. The Nagoya Ultra Body Stars currently have 4 points to themselves. They went 2-2 versus Team Detonation, 2-2 against Team Saishunkan, but it's still, you know, it was a little lackluster because of the kind of ways that they won. It wasn't in a fashion of getting like some of the anchor points, but I'm kind of curious to see what they're going to do to turn it around. Actually, no, I got to double check that as to how they even accumulated those points. But with Team Gyogun, again, we talked about it. They're currently at a huge deficit in last place. They went 0-4 against the Good 8 squad, which was pretty much what, the first match of Street Fighter League this season, and then 2-2 against FAV. Let's see what happens now.
Yep.
The first game, Mago going up against Dogura. Here we go, Bison versus Karen.
I don't think they have been pretty good friends, always practicing against each other, and this is a matchup that they played so much. This is also the first time we have actually seen Mago's carrying. He's been playing Akira, Kemi, so let's see how rusty or how good his carrying has still been right here. Going on to the neutral game, Mago is staying on a very safe range right here, trying to whip punish something. Oh, early whiff throw right there from Dogura, surprisingly. A lot of back dashes from Mago. As you can see, he's trying to bait out the Psycho X right here for a full punish. Beautiful neutral jump. Now it's gonna be a nice back dash there from Dogura for the start.
Yeah, it would have just, you know, prevented Bison from taking a little bit of extra damage and force to the corner, right? Not too heavy. Evading that throw, and not even gonna be too bad for Mago just letting it go either, just being able to reset into this neutral phase. Do you see how he's hovering around heavy punch, right? That was a great signifier for Dogura to actually get the scissor kick in to close the gap. But what do you do afterwards? Like, say she blocks the scissor kick, then what are you gonna do?
Yeah, you gotta be applying more pressure after blocking the scissors kick because there's no invincible, you know, move from Bison. Now we got the trap right here. You know, we got a little blast and the stun is building up. What is Dogura gonna do? Nice VR, getting out of the situation. Mago has been playing a little bit passive, you know, his whole strategy. And Dogura going with the unreasonable EX Cycle Scissors Kick and a slide.
Oh, that one cross-up, you could tell, added a little bit of mental pressure towards Mago, trying to press a button on Wake Up, thinking he was free to do so. But Dogura is still within range. Very smart decision making there. Getting the first round full bar on the side of Mago, by the way. Any solid hit could lead to a lot of explosive damage.
I definitely want to see Mago utilizing more ways to spend his meter. So far, he has been doing a lot of back dashes on the, you know, the neutral game, just to bait out the Psycho X, you know, and it seems like he has been changing a little bit of the strategy right here. Going a little bit more on the offense. Stun is building, and that is gonna be the stun. Okay, build some meter right here. Gonna score some combo. Spends the EX just to get himself in a better position right here. And the meaty combo. Ooh.
We talked about that earlier, right? Karen just has such a solid presence on offense, being able to frame trap you to no end. And it's a bad look for Bison because his only defensive option right now is having a 3-framer to kind of check fake gaps. But at this stage of the game, especially with Mago and a character like Karen, there's no way frame traps would be less than 3 frames.
Yep, you gotta be taking advantage of when Mago's Karen wants to walk forward and get those gaps. That is gonna be the key. No anti-air right there from Dogura. I wonder if Mago is gonna go towards the approach of in the air a little bit more, since Dogura is actually kind of known for having not so good anti-air among the pro players. So I do wonder if that is gonna be an approach. But now Mago is sticking at a very good position. He has 2 meters. He has full V trigger. And based on the slide, that CA, that was so good.
Definitely dead, no matter what. With so little scaling behind it, all off of a jump in, a solid read from Mago. Very, very clean. I actually meant to say more than 3 frames because of, the sequences she has off of medium punches into more medium punches, or being like medium kicks. But anyways, I digress. We're looking at Dogura right now, right? Dogura actually was the only one that got a win from their matchup against like Camouflage Detonation, getting the anchor win, right? But I'm trying to see what the results were from previous ones.
It's same for Mago. Mago is actually the only one that scored a win, for Team Jogun as well. So this is a pretty important match right there. Early bit on the tech throw. Now look at the corner carry for Karin's Resentha right there. What a one screen to the other screen right there. Again going for the air approach. I like what Mago is thinking. Playing on the player weakness right there. I hope Dogura has been picking out on what Mago is doing. Okay, now you have the V trigger too. You have the threat of the command grab right here. You can't be just blocking, and you're gonna be a little bit more active, due to the pressure of the command grab.
Ooh. Wow. What a whip punish there. Back throw as well. So much room to work with. Now the harassment coming in. No, he actually committed. He thought he got the low forward. That's going to be a bad look. Dogura gonna still try to... Yeah, he was faking out the pressure.
He was faking out because he was afraid of the V-shift. If you V-shift the cycles, you can go for a CA right there as a punish. So right now, Mago can be going for anything into a CA, anything into a V-trigger, any V-shift into the CA. Karin's CA is 5 frame, it's really fast. But Dogura goes with the EX Scissors Kick. You can't react to that. So good choice right there from Dogura, getting the first round.
Very true, very true. Checking with the clutch and medium punch, but I don't think there's going to be too much buffering behind it other than the Hell's Inferno.
Yeah, another jump right there. Mago has been going more towards the jump approach, but didn't get anything, even though Dogura has been blocking those jumps instead of anti-airing it. Still a lot of full meter right there. There you go. Mago spends a meter. More jumping. Right? That's a good... Yeah,
does too get many a little bit of on that and pushes through. I agree.
Yeah, another jump. Mago knows Dogura really well. Dogura, you have to be doing an air-to-air medium punch or any kind of down heavy as an anti-air, because Mago has been capitalizing not on the character matchup, but the player, right?
What a whiff punish. Fierce to fierce connection. Exactly why he's hovering around that range, because Karen is still able to punish you and make you hurt, make you bleed for it. But this is the pace I like. Now Dogura is on offense. He's accelerating on the gas pedal. She's like, damn! You thought you could veer reversal that? No, sir! That was sick!
What is that? That was such a sick timing. Psycho Crusher and the bait of the VR, and somehow the explosion right there punishing the VR. I've never seen Bison punishing VR that way with Psycho Crusher and a time explosion. That was so good. Dogura is definitely on his lap right here, coming out with new stuff, even though it's 5 years down the road, with Bison. New stuff coming, interesting so far.
That was actually mad sick. I didn't think, I kind of understood that the V reversal would kind of go past him if he Psycho Crushed, but I didn't think the explosion or the detonation would come in time.
Yeah, that has to be a well-let, something has been in the lab for really long. Hey, Mago is back to hovering around the range. Dogura is not eating the bait of the Psycho X, you know. Mago has been like backdashing, trying to punish it. Look at the amount of backdash Mago is trying so hard, but Dogura just doesn't do the Psycho X, you know. Mago has finally gave up on his decision. He knows that Dogura would not go for the Psycho X.
If Dogura were to swing with a heavy punch, he's gonna find the target, right? Whether on hit or block, he doesn't want to whiff that button because he's seen Mago whiff punish him before. So every single strike that he does is gonna find the mark. He does not want any of these whiffs because he's gonna lose the momentum. He's possibly gonna lose his life because look at that already. Big crush counter coming in from Mago, and the corner carry is so far away too.
One screen to the other screen, but Bison has the ESC kick to push himself out of it. Wow, look at those buttons scrambling. And Dogura won the scramble button with the delay jab into the counter hit combo. Nice defense there from Dogura. It's gonna be match point right here for Dogura. Dogura can be taking this in anyway, showing he has a home advantage, getting the better counter pick against Mago. I like everything he's doing so far. Mago hasn't really changed his approach towards this matchup, so we're gonna see what adjustment can Mago do, you know, to get the W.
Yeah, he's forced to play at the pace that Dogura is setting, right? Because she doesn't want to overextend. She doesn't want to be within range for those frame traps against Bison. But I will say, I mean, I think she'll be just fine. Even if she gets knocked down, she does have the ammo to use a reversal EX % if need be.
I think the biggest thing is that Mago have to be changing the approach of baiting. Wow, what a dash to catch the back dash right there. Out of nowhere, you can see they're so familiar with each other's playstyle. That VR was done a little bit too late. It should be a guaranteed VR against Bison standing heavy punch. So right now, Mago knew he made a mistake, but the time his clock is running down. Mago wants to close in the damage punish. Okay, full meter.
So significant too.
Another guaranteed VR, beautifully done by Mago.
Let's get the crush counter, no activation, but that's gonna be just fine. He's looking for off of block, or even off of this is great. That's gonna be more than enough, and he spends it. That's gonna be a very expensive bait. Critical art going into the tie right now. It's gonna be all tied up. The final game, final round between these two, but at a slight advantage going to Dogura, all only because he has that one bar. Let's see how it plays out.
That was definitely a mistake right there, you know. The time is actually clocking down, but Mago just want to secure the win. So Mago just did a jump and a dash, trying a different approach on the offense because he has no meter right here. He wants to go in. He didn't want to play the safe game anymore, you know. Want to ride on the momentum, but it felt like, you know, Dogura is doing this a lot better so far.
Yeah, I feel like he set the pace. A lot of these matches kind of went the distance in terms of the time left. I think Dogura just did a great job of knowing when to start going in and when to hang back in neutral. Damn, that's a big conversion. Oh, you did!
There we go. The only anti-air that Dogura does in the whole set went into a full combo, into the winning combo right there. There you go. Dogura has been entering at the right moment so far, you know, trying to condition Mago to be moving on to the air approach, but at the later part, doing it at the correct timing is what really made Dogura the win.
Right.
I felt that the conditioning, the adaptation at the right timing has been perfect so far. So the win goes to Dogura.
I think it was very smart playing the way that he played, kind of irritating Mago on the ground, being such a dominating presence, to force Mago to think like, all right, well, he's focused on the ground game so much, maybe I should try jumping. There were a few, you're gonna see in the statistic later, there were a few that kind of were left unchecked, but in that last set, Dogura started being a little bit more active. You saw a crouching heavy punch in the first round as an opener for the anti-air, and then immediately, once he started recognizing that Mago wanted to take to the skies a little bit more, he switched it up to hell attack by going into the airs, you know, jumping medium punch juggle. As you can see there, 2 out of 10 anti-airs. 2 out of 10.
Right,
that was like towards the end.
I like that the down heavy punch that you're talking about and the jump medium. That's the 2 anti-air for the last round. And throughout the whole game, he hasn't been doing any anti-air. Nice stats right here, showing the gameplay as well as the strategy.
Bunch of donuts on the side of Mago, but again, he was hanging on to his meter. If he were to do EX for Senha, he would have got blown up. But testament, that's a true testament to Dogura being the Bison player that he is. He stuck to the ground game as much as possible. As you can see, did not take a single jump. That's impressive, honestly.
Well, Nagoya Oja Bodystar wants to knock Jogun into the last place. He wants them to stay in the last place. Jogun really wants to get this win in this match because that will mean that they will move out from the 8th place and the last place, moving upwards in the table, which is really important at this stage of the tournament for SF League. I think this is a really good start for Nagoya Oja Bodystar, so I wonder who is the next player they're going to be sending out. You're the best at doing that, Vicious. Tell me who is the next player?
So who do we have left? The reserve is MOV. It's between Akira and Oniki, right? So Oniki, I want to say he is going to be going up next. I do like his matchup. But that's tough. Let me see. I want to say Dictator going up again would be fine, but Akira's Kemi might be a little bit more comfortable doing so. I like Kemi in the anchor position more so, but Oniki might be going up. I can't tell. I actually can't tell because all they talked about was just Dogura's anti-air. That's all they were talking about. But if I actually have to pick, I'm gonna say, where are my notes at? Where are my notes at? With Moke, Mizuha,
Moke, Akira, Kemi, Rashid.
I'm going with Oniki. Oh, I guess wrong.
No. Just a little bit slow. You should have waited it up for the 100% record right there.
It's fine. I wanted to gamble. I felt like gambling today, man.
Well, there's the translation about what they just discussed. They're just talking about Dogura's anti-air in the discussion time that they were saying. And they said Dogura said he tried hard to anti-air. Until the last round, he managed to adapt and do it. So it's pretty awesome right there. And now we're gonna have Akira going against Moke, Kemi versus Rashid. Some interesting fact about Moke is he actually is a Rashid main for the last 5 years, but during season 3, there's some adjustment, so he changed to Kemi for the whole year. Did not have any good results, and switched back to Rashid and became who he is right now. So he definitely is not someone who likes to fight against Kemi, nor he actually probably think Kemi is a very, very strong character. So I think Akira going up, against Moke may be a personal pick and a matchup pick, and I do like the decision that was made right here.
So we're going to talk about this matchup right here, Moke versus Akira. Again, Rashid versus Kemi. We've seen these matchups a little bit before between team, Good 8 and Gyogun. We've seen this matchup a handful of times, actually, but when it comes to the actual players themselves, I believe Moke hasn't had the best success, but I will say from Akira's side, Akira actually won the last time he played against Team Saishunkan Seoul when he played up against Nishikin, got a 2-0 victory. His Kemi is very aggressive. I'm kind of curious to see how Moke is going to contest against it. I think Akira is one of the more aggressive Kemis we have in the entire roster.
Well, he has the nickname of being quick as lightning right there, and being a young player, they are very fast in their mind. The way they play is very aggressive. The nickname quick as lightning, Akira did not have that nickname for nothing, So he is also, have a lot of other games background. So he's definitely a very fast player. So I'm looking for how he's going to be approaching this matchup, as Rashid, because Rashid doesn't have a lot of good anti-air tools when it comes to fighting against Kemi, and Moke is definitely not one of the.
I'm trying to see what Moke's record was like. I believe the last time they played, was that day 3? Yeah, it was day 3. Moke actually fell short to Bonchan. Moke hasn't had the best success yet, to be quite honest with you. But we're looking at the current player roster that they threw up there for the team, for Team Gyogun. Machimal actually is going to be hanging back just a little bit. The entire team of Team Gyogun was practicing all weekend except for Machimal, hence why he's the reserve. He was straight up about it. He was saying to himself, you know, I had an opportunity to go to a concert and I took it. He hasn't done it in a long time, so he was just fine. Let's see if Moke has what it takes to keep it going for their team, for Team Gyogun, or will Akira stop him this time? Akira, again, also still on a win streak from the last time he played.
Yep. And Moke definitely has no lack of Kemi practice. He has two very strong Kemi, Mago, you know, as well as Machabo. So let's see how the practice with his teammate has put it up, you know, for, you know, Team Gyogun.
You know what's crazy about what just happened? Akira scored 2 solid hits, one of them being crouching medium punch off of a counter hit. He didn't convert off of it. Then he got a standing heavy punch, didn't convert again. Akira actually stressed himself out by missing those confirms, leading him to do that first erroneous spiral error.
And some interesting decision that is made by Akira is you have to see how Akira used the EX spiral arrow, you know, has a confirm during when he's in a corner. That's because you want to switch the side, you know, so that he can get the corner right there. Corner is so important in this game because there's no space for you to move around, and there you can see how powerful that corner pressure is, you know, once you get the side switch. Even though spending another meter for EX, you know, is not necessary, but getting the position is more important.
There's a big confirm there from Akira this time. Already off to a great start against Moke. We talked about how aggressive Akira is. Easily one of the more aggressives in the lot. Or aggressive Kamis in the lot, excuse me. Oh, missed the anti-air opportunity.
Look at those jumping right there. Akira has been bullying Moke with those jumps right there. Moke didn't really take the bait of taking the throw. Another EXDP, that's 200%. Wake up DP super on point right there for Akira right here. But right now the stun is building up. And the jump!
That was the sickest! We count that as an anti-air! We 1000% count that as an anti-air. That was disgusting. I saw the EX Eagle Spike, but I did not see that air-to-air grab coming in. That was sick.
That reaction was way too fast to even grab away the EX right there. It's not something we see commonly from Kemi, that's for sure. But great play right there from Akira. Such a fast pace of game compared to the previous game of M. Bison versus Karin. This is actually a speed run right here. Akira is running, you know, as well as Moke. Hey, getting a down medium, nice confirm right there. Now Moke is still getting the corner advantage.
Xian, this kid is nasty. Holy.
He's
so good.
Wow, I hate to see the EX Tornado hit him because it does so much damage. Wow, and the defensive option is so unpredictable. And now he got back the corner right there. But Moke checks the dash.
Yes. So smart. You kind of use that aggression to your advantage. Moke doing a great job of keeping the strings tight, or at least keeping the offensive pressure tight, making sure that the meaties come through to stop all the button presses on Wake Up.
It's interesting how Akira has been using a lot of dash. Wow, I really like how he does an anti-air normally but uses the air throw instead. Because he actually get himself back to the corner. Look at Akira, his decision making is so interesting. He uses EX spiral arrow from the dominant kick, you know, to get out of corner. He air throw his opponent back to the corner, you know, and jump EX dive kick to get back the corner position. I really like Akira's strategy, you know, in this matchup.
And you see Moke kind of not letting the meaties happen in that instance, actually. Akira didn't even have meter to even be a threat, but now once you let go of that opportunity, okay, that's a great escape tool, finding the mark still. But you can't stop Akira from pressing buttons.
Akira is just way too fast right there. He just okay, nice V shift right there.
Smart.
The V shift break done a ton of great damage so far. Is he gonna save the CA? I think Akira's trying to build this CA meter right there. Any block will be the heavy punch into DP CA. You can't block anything. There you go, Akira. He tried to go for the heavy punch DP into the CA for the chip damage, you know. And it has landed the hit, but it doesn't matter. That is such a good situation for Akira to be getting, you know, building his meter slowly, step by step. Has a plan in mind, went for the chip. Great play by the quick as lightning Akira.
That's kind of rough as Moke, right? You're currently sitting on a losing record, but this is the first time he's gone 0-2 against anybody. Akira, on the other hand, this isn't his first full-on sweep. He did this to Nishikin, and he did so to Moke. He's looking to continue doing so. Akira looking like he's playing like the leader of the team at this point, but I will say there's still one more match, the anchor match. Mizuha is going to be the last one. Oniki is going to be the anchor for this one as well, which is going to be pretty interesting because, you know, Dogura and Oniki both playing the same kind of character. There's got to be a lot of advice going back and forth between the two.
Yeah, something I like about Jogun's team is that they are all smile and happy, but now they realize they are in the last place. You can see the smile all gone from their face. There's no more smiling from the teammates and the leader. Now we get to see the stats. Tell me something about this, Vicious.
I just love seeing the 100%. EX uppercut, the invincible reversal coming in from the side of Kemi 2 times over finding the mark is absolutely imperative because we all know if she happens to get blocked, she's a glass cannon. She's going to get crush counter. She's going to get destroyed. She's going to get moved to the corner. And we're going to see her bleed. But that wasn't the case. Akira making the right decisions. And they were very early, aggressive, invincible reversals. If you paid attention to that match, he made sure to utilize it exactly when Moke tried to get his momentum going. And it was so properly utilized. Very, very smart. And you were talking about the very interesting decision-making coming from Akira. I mean, it's net him 2 solid wins so far in the back-to-back games. So far, we're looking at the anchors coming in, Mizuha and Oniki. Colleen versus Dictator is what we can expect. But as we see here, Mizuha, I'm looking at his record, right? With Mizuha, he actually played off in day number 1. He was the one that started things off. It was kind of like a reception for the new blood. Mizuha's Colleen actually fell short to Kichipamu's Zangief. This was the matchup where Mizuha was taking advantage of the heavier normals. So we'll see how it works out. Oniki's Dictator coming up next. So far, no home team has claimed a 4-0 sweep. But as it stands right now, we are in a potential situation to get a tie or that 4-0 for the first time from the Goya Oja Body Stars. It's really up to the new blood Oniki with his debut into Street Fighter League.
Yep, and one of the things is that Nagoya Oja Body Star has been heading 2-2, tie for every situation, you know, for the 2 matches and the 2 teams they have been playing. So right now they're on a nice lead of 2-0. Will they get a draw again? I don't think that's something that they want. It's not a bad result, but I think they want to net the clean sweep this time. This is the time they have a good position. They're in the home. The matchup is okay. Let's see if Oniki can get the win right here. Early scissors kick.
Oh, huge jump in coming in from Mizuha.
The thing about Bison is a lot of players really like to go on the air approach because it's not as easy. There you go. We're talking about air approach, and Oniki just immediately, you know, react to the entire. Unlike Dogura, a young player adapting a lot faster when it comes to the anti-air.
Right.
Early slide.
Activation off of the sweep. Oh. Big crush counter now. It's gonna be all Mizuha. What a throw bait.
So
Not
much
quite
damage.
dead yet. Oh,
Wow.
Yes, sir. She does have that. Safe jump into immediate jump light kick against Bison still works out.
Yeah, the Bazooka only was on tall characters, and Mizuha has went all in on that, I will say. It's not something necessary, but he's pretty anxious to finish the match right there. Another nice anti-air there from Oniki. Definitely a different kind of Bison you are seeing right here.
activation, all from the target combo forward throw. Immediate tech there from back-to-back techs coming in from Oniki.
The offense right here from Mizuha going for the V-trigger. I really like that. Look at the frozen state. Look at this frozen state where the stun is actually being locked in. So you can take your time, you know, to do pressure against your opponent. Mizuha capitalizing on that, uses very well in his V-trigger, and 1-0. Mizuha is showing who he actually is. Mizuha is not someone there for nothing, you know. He has got a reserve the last time. He has been practicing, and now he did pretty well so far, you know. Along with the away anchor curse where they always take the win somehow. Momentum is building definitely right on.
So far though, Oniki has come to light towards the later ends of the set, right? Oniki, majority of his record has been like 2-1. So we'll see if he has what it takes to kind of bring it out again in this matchup specifically.
Yep, and
this is the second time
Bison.
overall we're seeing him play, I think.
Yep, and this is the first time they actually decided to do a 2 Bison combination. So we've seen Dogura using Bison, and then this is the second Bison again. So interesting that this is actually working out. Oh, a nice conversion.
That was so sick. I love it when they use V-Shield as an anti-air.
Yeah, the executioner error from Mizuha has been working out pretty well so far. A lot of those, the punishable parallel was a mistake by the execution, but everything has been working out pretty well. A little lucky from Mizuha's side, and I hope he can get the momentum going with that. That is definitely frustrating for Oniki right there.
We're seeing a couple of blatant weaknesses coming in from the side of Oniki, by the way. One of them being, you know, whiff normals right in front of Mizuha. Mizuha is more than willing to whiff punish. But on top of that, one of the bigger weaknesses is getting throw baits, or getting baited into throws pretty often.
Yep, I would like to see Oniki jumping out, you know, sometime.
Yeah, so Oniki, again, you talked about the jumps being very imperative in this one, but right now Mizuha is not even giving him an opportunity to even get his offense started. We see the paces there, Psycho Axe incoming.
Now blocks. Nice, spans a meter.
You see Mizuha kind of buffering away with those stand shorts, right? He's trying to stop the startup of Oniki as he's going for the Psycho Axes.
Okay, it's been, none of the EX Caesars has been like working out so far, you know. And so you can see like right now, activates the V trigger. Now you got a big ice. I like how he clicked off the low right there. Is it the ice state right here?
In case you can't hear the English side, we do have a little bit of a technical difficulty from time to time, considering where we're all streaming from. So we do appreciate you guys being patient if you can hear.
Yep, I'm still on it. So nice win right there from Mizuha, 2-0. And now we're gonna see Mizuha can just take a 3-0 right there, sending Nagoya Oja Barista an all-time draw. Oniki is a young player. I'm not really sure, you know, if he had actually continued 3-2 back, you know, that's 3 games in a row. That's definitely not very easy, you know, for a young player like this. But having his teammate advising right here. Some little fun fact about Mizuha is actually used to be Chun-Li main. So he actually is known to be one of the best Chun-Li outside of MOV before Mizuha actually switched to Colleen. So that's actually pretty interesting because Mizuha now has been known only has his Colleen. He hasn't really been showcasing a lot of his Chun-Li. Even his secondary is actually Zaku in the previous, you know, Street Fighter League. So right now, being a Colleen main for at least since Season 3, he has a lot of experience, you know. It looks like Oniki is trying to think of how to deal with this Colleen right here. He looks a little confused. And let's see how this is gonna be. 2-0 right here for Mizuha. You know, I want to see Mizuha manning it 3-0. I hope that.
That'd be great. That'd be amazing for Team Gyogun, right? They don't want to be swept 4-0, and they don't want to be in the record books as the first away team to get fully swept, right? Getting that 2 points not only would be a great morale booster, but also a significant step forward in their current rankings, as they're still in last place. They need as many points as possible to climb into the top 4.
Oniki's face doesn't look like he knows what he wants to be doing to getting the comeback. That is not looking very great from the facial expression. I guess the good thing is Mizuha better not be seeing that face right there. You could get a lot of hint, you know, in like this is not gonna work out too well. I hope Oniki can adapt, you know, to the play style and strategy of how Mizuha had played and make a big difference. So important, you know, but Oniki taking on such a big responsibility, you know, for the home team is not easy at all, and I would like to see him doing better, you know, at least on the score wise, even if he may actually lose the match. Okay, Mizuha is covering his.
He's getting some advice coming in from Machimo too. He had to wave him down. He's like, hey, by the way, this is what you should be doing. Let's talk about the matchup again. Colleen versus Dictator, aka Bison. What were some of the blatant weaknesses that Oniki had, right? We talked about him being susceptible to throw baits pretty well. Mizuha has actually been outplaying him in footsies when it comes to like buffering normals and figuring out when he wants to throw out his heavies, and overall just the mix-up factor from frame traps and being in V-trigger. But what was it about that last match that stood out in your mind?
I think the last match, that's a lot of executioner error right there from Mizuha, and somehow end up getting a lucky frame trap right there against Oniki. I think this is a momentum crusher right there for Oniki. So Oniki really need to find his feedback on how to, even you're not lucky, you can still win, you see. So we're gonna see. Okay, Mizuha going for the air approach this time. He has a lot of momentum, so he's actually can play with a lot of confidence. You see he's walking forward so much, dashing in, being on the offense side, completely playing different from the last 2 rounds. You know he has a lot of game to be sparing.
And below a little bit into Parabellum string. Oh, I like that. Oh, that was a great block, but still not going to be enough. Mizuha is all offensive. This is a very, very aggressive Colleen.
Yeah, he has changed his approach completely so far. You know, in this third game, he's going all in, and I really kind of like that. Oniki is definitely... Ooh, I have to say, there's a lot of nice defense from these 2 players. Then checks the dash. This combo is gonna be... No way. I don't think that's the optimal combo, but then like at least he spanned the CF for the win. I feel like he may be afraid to be going for that 1 meter combo, but it's actually okay since he's on the 2-0 lead. Match point for Mizuha. Let's see how he's gonna capitalize that.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been huge if he were able to retain his meter, but I mean, also spending it to secure the win, I feel like grants a better peace of mind.
I don't know what is that though from Oniki, that EX flame and jumping backwards. I think Mizuha has confused.
Damn, that was far.
Not looking good.
Oh, and another drop. A very significant drop, but he has to make the most of it. Oniki has to get this mix-up going to kill plus frames afterwards, but no, that's not going to be enough. Ooh. Jumping in, no anti-air, the backdash is there, but the buffer stands short! No, he doesn't have any trigger, the backdash gets clipped, not gonna be dead. You missed the meaty! Oh my god, he missed the meaty, the back throw is there! Oniki, all he had to do was apply pressure and chip him away. There was no V-reversal on the side of Mizuha. All he had to do was go into a sequence into critical art. I can't believe it. Not like this. 3-0? A 3-0 sweep from Mizuha in that set. I can't believe it. I legit cannot believe it. Mizuha taking it down 3-0 against Oniki. We're gonna get ourselves that tie, 2-2.
Okay, and so this is another 2-2 for Nagoya Oja Borista. All draw matches. What do you feel about that? A team playing 3 matches in a row and all getting draw.
That's tough. I mean, it's a very steady pace to climbing up the ranks, possibly. But eventually, you're going to need a little bit more than that. You're going to need some 4-0s on your side of the board eventually. I will say, Mizuha played pretty impressive. Definitely one of the more aggressive call-ins. You see the anti-airs, 4 out of 7 coming in from Oniki, but a gang full of donuts over on the side. You had a dozen, actually, or sorry, half a dozen coming in from Mizuha, but still getting the W, 3-0. I will say overall, I think that the way that Gyogun has been playing has been, you know, pretty all right. But the people that I need to see step up is Moke. I want to see Moke put a W on the board. He still has not found success yet.
Yep, Mizuha has gotten a win for his team, you know, besides Mago, and it's really good that all of his teammates will start getting wins. Machabo actually hasn't landed a win as well, you know, so this is building momentum for the team where Mago wouldn't be feeling too much pressure if it's always the one, you know, trying to get the only win right here. So right now they'll be having the interview. We'll be translating, you know, the important and key points to you later once we get what they're actually saying. So what do you think how he's feeling right now, Vicious?
Well, I'm going to be a cheater and say that Mizuha has been feeling a bit anxious because he lost the first match of the season, but getting this win has to be a huge sigh of relief. Yeah, he's feeling a lot more relaxed this time around, getting a very significant W. My timing is impeccable, Xian.
Yep, that is so good. And as well, they say that the win has made him a lot more relaxed. And he actually expected the Decatur matchup, so he actually prepared for it. Wow, that was a surprise. You know, he's facing against a team with 2 Decatur, and he expected the Decatur matchup. Yep, completely fine. I totally agree with what he's expecting, and that is very smart of him, since he actually know that he probably has to face a Decatur, right? Since there's a 2 Decatur in the match, you know. And Mago was saying the whole team pretty much guess who they'll be facing. I think they are so good at rock, paper, scissors, you know. Guessing the whole entire sequence, that's something of what you're good at, Vicious.
I think what's interesting about that is that Mago talked about Mizuha being very comfortable in the Dictator matchup. I feel like if it was swapped in the way that Dogura plays, I feel like the set would have been a lot closer. And considering the position it was in, right, Dogura going first, if Mizuha went to start off the matchup again, I think it might have been a different turnout, in my opinion, of course. I think Mizuha would have been outpaced and outmatched by Dogura.
I definitely think that you may be right, you know, after it's a different style, you know. So Mago is also saying, you know, a 0-4 at the very start of the season will be feeling very stressful. Yeah, that's definitely for sure. Gyogun is really on the bottom of the league right there, and they know they don't want to get the 0-4. So Mago is saying something very expected, you know, but they will put out, and they also say they will put all the effort for every single win from now. Well, very encouragement, you know, for as a team leader, and I kind of like that.
And of course, you're going to be liking a lot more of the CPT coming up every single weekend for the rest of October. October 23rd and the 24th, we have the Nordic/Baltic region going down. Be sure to mark your calendars as the top 16 happens on the 23rd, as well as the top 8 as we induct another person into the Capcom Cup. But of course, we have the 3rd qualifier for Japan happening on the 25th as well, or actually on the 30th and 31st, I should say. Halloween weekend to see who is going to take it and fill in that 3rd seat for the Japanese qualifier in the Capcom Pro Tour. Again, we have so much more to go through, as well as so many more matches of Street Fighter League overall, right?
That is definitely a Halloween, night for the Japan qualifiers player, because like there'll only be one winner that can qualify for the Capcom Cup. For the rest of them, it'll be a horror night. It will be, a very scary, not a good experience, but that is what it is. That's why Japan is one of the strongest region when it comes to like this. And the next one we'll be having, you guys really shouldn't be walking or going away, because we have one of the legendary team Malden versus B6 Plus FAV Roto Z. Taquito versus Daigo's team. The much awaiting match, that you guys are looking forward to.
Yeah, and of course, you see the Breast Cancer Research Foundation charity costumes from both Chun-Li and Ryu available for a limited time between now and November 12. Capcom donates 100% of the proceeds that it receives from your purchase to the Breast Cancer Research Foundation with a guaranteed minimum donation of $25K. To let you guys know, they will fully disclose that donation as soon as the campaign is over. But again, all of those proceeds are for a great cause. Ladies and gentlemen, we have ourselves a matchup, a very huge matchup coming up. You guys do not want to miss this. V6 plus FAV Roto Z going up against Mildom Beast. I don't think you understand the roster, right? You got Sako, Ryusei, Taquito, as well as Bonchan from FAV. You have Daigo, Fudo, YHC Mochi, and Moruto coming from Mildom Beast. Both of these teams within the top 4. And it's going to be quite the slugfest. Ladies and gentlemen, again, Street Fighter League Pro-JP 2021 is non-stop. We got it 3 times going this week. You guys do not want to miss it after this break. We'll show you how that matchup unfolds after this.
何か力になれたらいいんだけど。
ああ。
誰も頼りはできないと思っていたの。
俺もだ。だが違う。
That's good kung fu. Finish this! みんなで力を合わせれば何だってできるの。
覚悟は決めた。
一緒に頑張りましょう。
ああ、行くぞ。
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Street Fighter League Pro-JP 2021. We got ourselves the matchup that Xian and I actually have been looking forward to for a while. Mildom Beast coming in hot. You see Daigo getting ready to battle alongside another legend, two more legends actually, Fudo as well as YHC Mochi, and of course a legend in the making with Mototo. These guys have had a fantastic start to their Street Fighter League experience. They are currently at, what, I believe 4th place with 6 points. Not even too big on the differentials. And it's going to be pretty interesting to see how they play out against one of the favorite teams of Street Fighter League, which is Team FAV.
Yep, and Team FAV is definitely a very strong killer cast right here that they have, the players that they have, you know, to offer, you know, along with Taquito, Sako, Bonchan, that's two, and Ryusei, that's two evil champions right there, you know, in a row for Street Fighter 5. You know, this is a very scary team. Sako, one of the oldest players in Japan, but one of the strongest, you know, and always nice and creative to watch. We have Ryusei, the young gun who is very, very strong at Urien. Taquito, no introduction. I can't say how many championships he has gotten along his career. As well as Bonchan, definitely one of the fan favorite for playing characters like Sagat. You know, people like watching him. You know, very unique and very special right there. This is an awesome team that we are watching right now.
I really enjoy the intros from all of these teams. There's so many different types of characters that come out during those intros, right? I think with V6 FAV Roto Z, I feel like they have so many different types of expressions and different attitudes. Same with Mildom Beast, right? I think Mildom Beast a little bit more on the serious side. But let's talk about the away lineup. Fudo coming in, YHC Mochi as the middle pick, and Daigo Umehara as Guile anchor. You actually expressed this before. A very valid concern. YHC Mochi as the middleman for the away team has got to be a huge detriment because Dalsim is definitely one of those characters that easily gets counterpicked, right?
Yep, and being on the away team is definitely not the best for Team Mildom Beast because they all have characters that are easily counterpicked. And being on the away team, don't forget, you have to put up your character and your player first, you know. And that means that home team right now can have a nice discussion of which character they want to fight or which player. I really like the strategy of Daigo, you know, always putting Moruto on the reserve whenever it comes to the away. So that has a Dan player, he doesn't need to get counterpicked.
That is a very, very solid observation. I was just about to mention that there's been an underlying theme here anytime Mildon Beast has been put on the away side. But I will say, you know, the away side position for them hasn't been too bad. You know, they actually got their W, or at least a tie, with Fudo as the anchor before. I'm kind of curious to see how Daigo's going to step up. Mochi actually has had a pretty rough start in the league. In day number 1, his Dalsum got completely shut out.
Whoa, they decided to put Bonchan, you know, with Bonchan is one of the strongest pick you can ever have in a league with rules, you know, like home away. Because Bonchan have Nash, Sagat, and Karin. You know, there's no bad matchup, you know, whenever Bonchan is in a home team, you know. He can just choose whatever character that he wants, playing whatever matchup, and there's 3 of them from the away side that he can choose. So you wouldn't be surprised if Bonchan is the only player that nets all Tabil wins, you know, for his home team. Not to say that he's also an evil champ and a very strong player. A win is nothing unusual. This is gonna be a big fight, you know, between Bonchan and Fudo. They have been under the same team Kachigari. They are used to be teammates. They used to stream together and they understand each other perfectly well.
And so we're talking about also the current matchup at hand, Bonchan being thrown up there against Fudo. In the interview, Bonchan mentioned that he's going to enjoy how much Ryusei can grow under the guide from himself. So Taquito and Sako has been saying he's been feeling perfect for the away team's lineup. With Bonchan going first now, though, it's going to be pretty interesting to see how aggressive he's going to play off against Fudo in this particular matchup, Karen versus Poison. I had the luxury of playing this matchup and talking about it with some of the folks in the UK, more specifically Jammers, because Jammers is a big Poison player, right? He feels like this match is it's kind of tough to navigate, right? Karen just wants one thing, and it's sickening. She wants to close the gap, get past the whips, and do her best to deal out damage, all the while Poison is just trying to play that keep away game. It could still be pretty even. We've seen this matchup from the likes of Punk and Idom time and time again, right? But now it's in different territory. Now it's in the territory of Street Fighter League Japan. I kind of want to see how it plays out. From the most part, I feel like Poison has taken the upper hand, but to be quite honest, it's been looking like a 5-5 still at the upper echelon of battles.
Yeah, I definitely like your opinion on that, you know, because from Asia side, usually Poison seems to be on the advantage, but you definitely know it better because you've seen Idom and Punk play all the time. So this is I would say more of an American matchup, you know, when it comes to, you know, Poison versus Punk, which is 2 of the biggest hitter, you know, in America. So I'm not as well versed in this matchup, but like you say, I'm really interested to see how Bonchan is gonna close in the gap while Fudo having the mental stack, trying to keep, you know, carrying away. A little interesting for me, I would say. So I'm looking pretty much forward.
So we'll see how it works out between Fudo and Bonchan. One of the biggest things about Poison also, she does have some significant frame traps up close that can actually bait out a view reversal from the side of Karen. Karen's view reversal doesn't really extend that far out, doesn't have a lot of reach to it. So there are instances where Poison can kind of bait out that defensive option if she's in trouble. But I want to see how Bonchan utilizes some of his bufferable normals to kind of stop the pressure from Fudo, right? One of the biggest concerns is heart rate, stopping Karen from, what, 3/4 of the screen. It's going to be a big challenge for Bonchan to see how he's going to close the gap off the start of the round.
So when it comes to the interview just now, Sako also actually said that he's feeling perfect, you know, for the away team lineup, and he's on the reserve seat. I feel like this is a troll right there. Like, how do you feel perfect for the away team lineup, but yet he is sitting at the reserve seat? I mean, if he don't have to play, of course he's feeling perfect. I would think that he's feeling absolutely confident, you know, when it comes to the lineup of the away seat, but he's in the reserve seat this time. So it's very, very interesting to see how he's gonna leave it to his teammate. It's a 2 Urian team. You know, B6 plus FAV Rotozi, a 2 Urian team, which is a character which is undisputable, have no really bad matchups. So they don't really have to worry about anything.
Yeah, very disrespectful character. Not really disrespectful, but he can be very aggressive. Can throw out a lot of EXPs liberally. Okay, thank you. I'm glad I'm not the only one. Great, good to know. Okay, so you're thinking about also, you know, Bonchan versus Fudo. I'm already thinking about the next matchup, to be honest. At least the matchup at hand, because it's 2 Urian players. It's either Ryusei or Taquito. So we'll get there when we get there. As it stands right now, it's gonna be Karen versus Poison in the hands of Bonchan versus Fudo.
Yeah, Bonchan is definitely going towards the fast approach, because you don't play slow pretty much in this match. Since you really just have to get in, right? So we'll see how Bonchan is gonna get in. It's gonna have a lot of interesting. Starting the round straight with B skill was a very fast approach. Now you can see he's moving with the dash. Good position, the best position you can be as a Karin in this matchup.
I do like the defense coming in from Fudo, slowly pushing Karen away and nudging himself out of the corner, but he's gonna get thrown out. I like that big buffer.
That's a crazy buffer right there from Fudo. Now taking the throw. Bonchan is backing off all of a sudden when he's in the V trigger. Most surprising. What is he actually thinking right there?
I don't know. He didn't want to overextend, right? He didn't want to get hit into any more buffered normals, I feel like. Or get himself into an EX heart rate situation.
Yeah, maybe you're right, because if you have no VR right there, you know, Fudo may put you into the EX heart rate situation, which is kind of annoying. That's so true right here. Now Bonchan is 1 hit away, just the same as Fudo. Anyone can get 1 hit right here. What is that 1 hit gonna be? Fudo doing a lot of neutral jump right here, because Bonchan is almost getting the V trigger. He may go in for the V skill. So Fudo's CA, perfect. This will work in no matter any range right here. Fudo's poison, he know what he's doing. Down heavy punch, cancellation, late cancel, normal cancel. As long as going to the V trigger, as long as it hits, the CA will always connect.
I do like Bonchan kind of hanging on to the meter too. He was fishing a little bit. You know, he actually missed that confirm earlier in the round. He did have a low forward. He didn't want to spend the meter for EX Senko. That was double counter hit.
Yep.
A little bit of an error from the side of both sides, really. More than enough. Yeah, Fudo had a very significant error. That was quick, super quick. 79 seconds left on the clock, near perfect.
I feel that Fudo has spent a lot of effort trying to get the round right there, and Bonchan just flip it. What an anti-air from half the screen, the EX Tanko.
Oh, he had the right read against the heart rate.
That was a sick read from against for EX heart rate. I didn't see anyone baiting an EX heart rate with a neutral jump ever. That's some sick read right there. You can see from Bonchan.
There it is. Yes, sir. Russell, you have to do it in the first part of the heart rate, or else you're going to be susceptible.
Ah, I see. Wow, Fudo just holding the whip, move out of the corner. Okay, nice. That's worth it. Getting out of the corner. Fudo is building up his meter little bit by little. And this frame trap is going to be a big one. Guess for win.
He tried to get a throw bait. You saw the dash up into the light Rasenha. Fudo already knew about it, did a crouch jab to interrupt. Bonchan now sitting at a very significant life lead, but that could all be for naught if Fudo gets a hit for him into critical art. Oh,
yeah, this is one hit away.
This
it may
so
look like...
dangerous. Yo, the training and the Molotov are confirmed! Oh my god, Fudo is
getting trained like this. That's bad. I never seen that ever. Not in my life. That's a trade into a stand heavy combo.
Whew. That was ridiculous. How many times have we seen these insane trade combos. That one had to be, it better be highlighted. I swear to you, if that does not get highlighted, I'd be so upset, because that was good awareness, good situational awareness there from Fudo going in for the kill. He was down, right? He was looking for chip, and Bonchan knew it as well. He's like, all right, well, I gotta strike, because if he keeps chipping away at me, he's closer to his kill condition.
Yeah, that's a little unfortunate right there, you know, for the timing to get traded. So, but give props to Fudo for the awareness to actually convert it in that situation. That was definitely what. Did he just sweep into the beast kill too to avoid the punish from Bonchan? This is some crazy momentum moving on Fudo's side. A sweep. Fudo try to punish it, you know, Bonchan try to punish the sweep with a sweep, and Fudo just beast kill over, gets the full punish instead.
Oh,
wow, I gotta say
no.
that nothing is going on Bonchan's side right here.
At this rate, Bonchan is going to be on daddy duty a lot sooner than he thought. Oh, that was ambiguous.
Fudo. That looks very ambiguous.
I like him going for the sweep so that he gets Oki a lot easier, right? Instead of going for the roundhouse Mujin Kyaku.
Yeah, he didn't want a corner carry. The sweep was a different setting up for a different set play. Something that Bonchan prefer time to time, you know. Okay. CA almost on deck right there for Fudo. One hit away. The whip punish. These are all not easy punishes. This is so
that was so scary
good right there.
I was gonna say, I hope he doesn't regret not going into the Orochi, because he went into another Tenko, which is not as much damage, but... Ooh.
Nice anti. Bonchan is so on point with those raw sweeps. Okay. Bonchan looking out for the... Again, the EX anti-air.
Anti-air heart rate has been paying off for Fudo, but still not getting locked down in this corner. Bonchan, again, doesn't want to be overzealous. He doesn't want to overcommit and put himself into the corner, so he's going to be backing away. But still, that's exactly where Fudo's domain is. He's going to be playing from far away. Another whiff punish against the crouching heavy punch this time.
Bonchan is so good at waiting for the crouching heavy punch and using the EX Tenko as a whip punish, and this perfect reversal timing. Unfortunate for Bonchan getting thrown back to the corner. He got the shimmy but not the win.
This is the situation we talked about, right? Fudo in now full control with all the space he needs to chip away at Bonchan as much as possible, really. We do have a trigger lined up for the side of Bonchan as well. He could get a solid hit into it, but Fudo is going to be at the advantage, I feel like.
Fudo just need any hit right there, and he got the hit. The backdash actually made Bonchan confirm the down medium kick into the Tenko. Misconfirm right there, but you can't really see it. It's on hit. It is a backdash. It bounced backwards. It was airborne. Fudo capitalized it. Went for the punish to the CA. Bonchan looking at the sky. He doesn't know what is going on. Both match went really close, but
I love Fudo's expressions too when he wins. He puts his arms up in the air and he just shouts. I love it, honestly. We talked about this a little bit earlier, right? Bonchan, as soon as he gets put into the corner, is such a huge disadvantage for him. Fudo had full control with that critical art. It was just so many variables against Bonchan in that last instance. It was just kind of tough to watch. It was only a matter of time till Bonchan fell, and we see it, the results 2-0 from the side of Fudo. Very significant W.
The one thing about carrying Bonchan putting Poison in the corner is, you know, Poison, whenever he has a turn to attack, he has to be worried about the reversal right there. You know, if carrying get a reversal in the corner, it gets a free Oki, getting a knockdown against Poison, which is really big along with the great health. So something that Karin is really good at, you know, once you get, you know, them to the corner. This is also Bonchan's first loss in the season right there. Nice stats right there. It's all your favorite 100%. Tell me about that, Vicious.
Love it. You know, the anti-air is on point. The invincible reversals on point. But if you don't get the W, it's all for naught, right? You do have the 100% there coming in from Fudo. And he's got the nice shoes on. I like that. 100% accuracy when it comes to the anti-air department. But Poison not having an invincible reversal, I'm just gonna take a couple of donuts to go. Not too bad at all, to be quite honest with you. Bonchan's first loss of the season at the hands of Fudo. You know, it was a matchup that was bound to happen, but the results completely unprecedented. Fudo, not too surprising taking the W, but it still could have gone either way, to be quite honest with you. Now it's a matter of who's coming up next. Which Urian is going to face off against YHC Mochi and his Dulcim? Looking into it, I'm gonna guess they would want to have Taquito as the anchor position to face off against Daigo. There's a lot of history between the two, and as a from a fan's perspective, I would love to see it.
Yeah, there's no way they're gonna mess it up to put Ryusei against Daigo, you know, and rob us of the, you know, enjoyable moment of watching Daigo versus Taquito, right? It has to be Ryusei. That's 99.9%. I can't see anyone but Ryusei going up for this. There's no way we can be wrong. I'm standing up out to see if I'm wrong for this. There's no way that it's gonna happen.
Alright, that's exactly it. YHC Mochi with the Dulcim, and of course Ryusei and his patented Urian. I'm kind of curious to see how it's going to play out. Ryusei saying there's no need to discuss because he's very ready, and that's exactly what I like to see. I think the V6 FAV Roto Z team take a lot into consideration when it comes to the team matchup and what order is going to happen. They have a pretty solid read majority of the time as to how it plays out. So maybe this is within line of what they were expecting, exactly why Ryusei was prepared.
Yep. Actually, the whole generic strategy of Team Mutant Beast and FAV is very unpredictable, because you expect that Sako may be picking Manat against Daigo's Gao, but they decided to put, you know, Sako on the reserve side, and you know, Daigo has put up Moruto, a damn player, as an anchor match before as well. So it's almost really difficult to be guessing the sequence of these two unpredictable, you know, the GOAT, the legend, the OGs, whatever name you call them, they absolutely deserve it, you know.
Did I hear that correctly? Or did I read that correctly, I should say? Daigo did a 5-hour stream walking from Ikebukuro to Daikanyama? That's kind of ridiculous.
That's a warm-up? That's 20 to 30 kilometers in Tokyo.
That's
insane. A lot of train station. Is that the warm-up Daigo is gonna do?
That's great. I mean, that's the kind of exercise I like to see.
That's actually really, really sick, you know. So, well, FAV team is saying Bonchan did great, although he lost the match, you know. So, I would say that they're always doing pretty great, you know. Ryusei has been winning his last match as well. I don't think Ryusei is very underrated in my opinion. I think ever since 2020, he has been improving a lot, you know, with his Urian. He has been under the wings of many godlike players like Daigo, you know, Taquito. He has so many coach. I feel that every player kind of like is a coach for Ryusei, you know. So his improvement is
good thing or a bad thing though? Like, you have so many different types of playstyles, so many different characters kind of coaching you. Is that like to his advantage or disadvantage?
I would say that it's definitely more advantage. Yeah, it may be confusing, but then like it definitely would not end up to become a master of all trade of none, you know. Like I don't think that would happen, but for fighting games, it's definitely more worth it, because you get to know how each of the top player thinks, you know, which a lot of top players don't really share all their mindsets, you know, with a single person. So I think Ryusei improving the fastest has something to do with him having access to play and learn from so many godlike players.
I would wonder what would happen, like what kind of growth he would experience under the direct tutelage of someone like Taquito, who's also been sharpening that Urian tool, because they get to go over so many specific matchups, especially for something like Street Fighter League. Now that the ban rule is not being taken place for Japan, right? Like having Taquito directly teach you certain matchups with your main character, I feel like is gonna be a lot more advantageous than learning from like a different pro players all at the same time.
Yep, I always think that the ban rule was just there to slow down the pace of the pro players, because they are not all pro players that can actually, you know, play multiple characters or have a very strong secondary character. So the biggest purpose of the ban rule, you know, like you have to extend the way you play and your game knowledge. You know, you're gonna be on a different caliber. But now it's all character specialists, and there we go. We're going into the match. We got Ryusei versus one of my favorite player of all time, Waihoshi Mochi Dowsin.
And this is the second time playing overall. He's been in the second player position both times, and it's his first time into Street Fighter League. He actually took down Taquito and Urian in the second CPT qualifier for Japan. So maybe Urian can do what Taquito couldn't. And so far, he's looking to do so right now with the advantage. Very aggressive start. Another powerbomb in the corner.
Yeah, that's a very good position. And the teleport hours, you know, Dowsim is really... You don't want to get hit by certain moves of Dowsim when you're in a corner, just because you don't want to let him get out. And now Dowsim is pressuring Urian in the corner. That's so weird. Okay, mirror time.
Oh boy. I feel like he gets that conversion more often than other Urian players because he's willing to activate. Yes, the trade, right? Mochi, no. He was trying to get the trade going off of that activation, but he did not have enough life to keep going. We've seen that before.
But he did a combo to kill himself. He just did a combo to kill himself. That is... I know that is miscalculation, but that was really funny that he did a combo to kill himself. What a row right there from both players.
That is the most graceful way to kind of secede, right? It's just like, you know, I forfeit.
Yeah.
You can take it.
Okay, now it's going back to the neutral game. And seems the EX Hacker Ryusei has the...
That's the problem. You go into the neutral game, then it's time to disrespect.
Oh, nice V-shift timing right there. Oh, there's still the second mirror right there. What a shimmy combo from Ryusei. Jab, walk back using the stand heavy, has a shimmy comboing into the second mirror. I haven't seen people use the second mirror as a shimmy, you know, when it comes to combo. You know, that's also middleless as well. I would say that was nice. Always something new. Like the improvisation of Urian is still happening.
Round one.
Yeah, I will say that conversion was super clean from Ryusei. Full acknowledgement of the situation, just good game sense overall to understand what he needed to get a conversion, max damage conversion off of a heavy punch like that.
Yeah, the game plan of Ryusei always trying to get the V skill, you know, starter is not working out well. And this is corner going to be there for the stun. VR to get a stun lower. Okay, situation is back to normal right here.
What a backdash. And that's a great time to get himself out of the corner with that teleport.
And the V-shift bait, you are joking me against the EXD. This Dowsim is gonna stun his opponent right here.
That punish is too far.
Let me see again.
He is so smart, Xian.
That was so good, Vicious. This is really good. The combo right there.
Sliding past the fireball, going past any sort of threat. I felt like maybe that tackle could have been punished, but he did throw standing light punch, so I don't know.
Yeah, Dowsim doesn't have a 3-frame move, only a 4-frame. So, but even the not so well spaced tackle, look at the fireball pressure right there. It's sticking on the screen. That's nice.
So slick. YHC Mochi tying it all up with 2 rounds straight in game number 2. Did you see the frequent flyer miles on that EX Yoga Fire. That man went from coast to coast. Does not experience jet lag whatsoever.
Yes, that was so good right there. Well, one of the best flying of all time, Mochi. That's for sure. 1-1. Is Yuren, do you say still trying to go for the V-skill strategy? I feel like Mochi is always trying to stop him from getting the V-skill, but he can't stop the handshake though. Those cross counter damage.
The handshake will happen eventually. That's the thing about Urian players in general. They're always looking to make that deal happen.
Finally. Nice! That's what you want to see, the armor. And Mochi using the jumping drill to avoid the throw.
Oh my god, the amount of grade damage he just took out. Did you see that?
Yeah. There's so many things happening at such a fast pace right here from these both players. EX Fireball coming from Mochi, that's for sure. You can't do much to it. Another EX Fireball? No, that's the 50-50 high or low. The mind games from both players, insane right there.
That was so sick from YFC Mochi. That could have gone either way. Big punish on the way down. Perfect spacing to punish the knees. Ryusei commits to this target combo more often than not, I feel like.
I think maybe it's because Dowsin don't really have a good punish, you know, when it comes to like punishing the target combo from Ryusei, from Urian. That's why like it's pretty safe to be committing to the target combo for Urian. Hey, mirror time.
What a time to teleport. So smart from Mochi.
That decision making was so on point. And the EX Tacker, now we got the second mirror. What? I like how Mochi has been standing up against the high mirror at the right moment, knowing if he crouched there, he may get eaten by the troll because there's a high mirror right there. Standing up so that he blocked everything. It's such a great, you know, awareness right there from YSC Mochi to deal with the high mirror from Urian.
That was so smart. Good situational awareness there from YHC Mochi, but still, Ryusei still managed to get that round in hot pursuit. V reversal to get himself out of the plus frame position.
Well, you never really want to be blocking an EX knee. So whenever you see a player blocking the EX knee, it's because they are not ready for the punish right there, V-shift or the anti-air. You know, that's not a pleasant move to be blocking. Nice VR.
Yeah, I like that. The knees had armor behind it as well, so you couldn't really anti-air it. You thought you could do anything? You thought it was your turn? He had meter!
Well, Mochi is feeling apologetic right there. You know, Mochi hasn't been netting a win so far, you know. He definitely is not too happy with the way he's presenting himself so far. So we want to see more of Mochi definitely backing up. But being on the away team side, always getting players to pick what they want to pick against you is not a good present, you know.
Man, Ryusei having an overall solid performance in the league. Again, this is his second appearance and he's won both of his matches so far. His previous win was against Nishikin, really putting in that work and really pulling for his team. If you're Sakuroko, you have to be feeling very proud of your teammate. Very significant W on the board against someone like YC Mochi.
So is he Sako's student now or Taquito's student? He has been under the wing of so many top players. This little kid right there. 1 point to each, you know, and even more interesting situation. Now we get to see the legend coming up against the legend. Are you excited about that, Vicious?
We were literally talking about this before we even started the stream. Taquito versus Daigo. I feel like we willed it into existence, Xian. We made sure that it happened. We talked about this earlier. And we're looking at the stats as well, right? We see the anti-air percentage there coming from YHC Mochi. Dalsum not having an invincible reversal. Not going to really see anything but donuts in there. But yeah, Taquito versus Daigo. Absolutely excited to see it. I want to know what the history was like prior. It seems like right now, Taquito is settling in with Urian, and it's going to be a whole different playground against Daigo. It's a whole different matchup because we're so used to seeing Taquito play Akuma versus Daigo for the most part. We've seen those exhibitions, the heartbreaking exhibitions where Taquito got swept by Daigo before, but now it's a whole different story.
Yeah, there's definitely been so much back and forth between Taquito and Daigo. You know, Taquito has swept Daigo 7-0 in Topanga League before. You know, Taquito has lost, you know, a 10-4, you know, in a lot of so many different exhibitions and tournaments. You know, they went so much history back to back. There's just no way of referencing it. No way! What am I seeing?
No shot!
This is... I didn't know about this. What is this character right there? Taquito! Wait, this is not Urian.
It's not, but it's definitely a charge character. I don't think this is the first time we've seen it either.
The skin color looks the same, but then I don't think that is Urian right there. What is Taquito? What a surprise right there. Is Daigo surprised by the pick? I don't think Daigo is ready for this though.
He took his earbuds off. He's like, wait, is this a real match? This is a huge surprise to all of us here at Street Fighter League, to be quite honest with you. It's not the first time we've seen Taquito rock that ball before, but in this high stakes scenario, it's pretty new to me, man.
I mean, the most interesting thing is that I don't see any practice of boxer against Gao on Taquito's CFN as well. Like, he definitely has been mastering up this really well. I mean, this is a very surprise pick. Means he's been practicing this offline, probably against Higuchi or someone, you know. So, wow. Surprise pick, almost the same color of his costume. This is even better than what we are seeing right now. I do believe this is an advantage matchup for Boxer, so let's see how this goes.
We do see the V-Skill 1 coming from the side. That is the Albatross to get past the fireballs. On top of Trigger 2 to give himself that command grab.
Yeah, there's definitely a different style when it comes to like Pugera, which Pugera doesn't really play V-Skill 1, but V-Skill should be the correct, you know, for this matchup. And so far, the counter conversion is all really looking so crispy from Taquito. It doesn't look like he has been just played this character. He looks absolutely sick right now.
What's wild is we haven't even seen him have to use KKB to get past the Sonic Boom yet. That's just been him out footsying Daigo with something like a stand heavy punch. We saw that there's the KKB.
There you go. You can't throw Boom easily, which is one of Daigo's forte. Throwing Sonic Boom right there, you know. Now Taquito has a character that can V-Skill just buttons against. There you go, we see it again. Great play from Taquito. The strategy is looking so well.
Oh, no throw bait this time. Daigo just takes the throw. Another one. That's going to be a huge set of info. Okay.
Execution error, full CA for Taquito right here, and doesn't need it. He didn't went for the CA. I don't think that was a mistake right there. Taquito forcing his way in with the V skill. He almost getting CA. This is almost guaranteed checkmate right here. I don't think there's anything.
Ooh, the reaction from that close to KKB, and that was a light Sonic Boom too. I think any faster would have clipped Taquito.
Yeah, that reaction from Taquito. I've never seen Taquito playing a character that is advantageous against Daigo, you know, when it comes to Street Fighter 5 since Akuma Gao. Now, this is a match that is definitely in Boxer's favor when it comes to the matchup-wise. Interesting so far. I like the preparation from Taquito.
Yeah, that preparation, you talk about that too. Prep time Daigo is just as effective, but right now Taquito is looking like a whole different beast, taking down the legend. That's gonna be huge! Ding dong, you're dead! Oh no. Well, at least a lot of damage, I should say. Huh!
Daigo is not ready for all of this stuff. Taquito uses a lot of down medium target combo for Boxer compared to other Boxer right there. Okay, getting the pressure. Baby booms right there. Nice charge combo in the flash kick. You got a one hit away right there for Taquito. Any down medium Mr. He confirmed, got it on the second try. $1, 2 try, doesn't matter. Miss one confirm, we got a second one. Great play from Taquito so far.
Like him going into the confirm.
Say.
Going into the confirm from the trigger rather than just a block, very, very smart from Taquito, because that's still a guessing situation if Daigo happens to block into the activation, right? Because of EX flash kick being a threat.
Yep. Okay, Daigo is struggling to throw his boom right there. Taquito loves his medium kick, whatever character he's playing. He's always using this medium kick right there, and he's not like Pugera, he doesn't hold a tap. He doesn't believe in the tap right there. It's definitely not necessary for the Gao matchup.
Yeah, you talk about that tap, right? If he had gone for the tap, he would be using trigger 2 instead, not having to rely on KKB. But to be quite fair, KKB has been putting in a lot of work in a lot of these instances.
Yep, but the one that's putting the most work has to be his down medium kick. Like Taquito's down medium kick and he confirm has been so many times that he got it again. Playing safe, not going for the command grab.
He had critical art on deck also. That's going to be more. Not quite dead. But he's in chip range. He's definitely in chip range.
Chip range, anything into the spear. Oh, there you go. Look at how many down medium kick he confirmed Taquito has been landing right there. The down medium kick confirmed from Boxer is definitely not the easiest, but Taquito has been training out a lot on that. And I feel that he has confirmed almost every single time correctly. That was so great right there. Daigo looking so confused about this surprise pick.
Daigo is kind of trying to reassess the situation. He does have a smile on his face, but I feel like it's more of like a confusion, a confused smile. Like, where did this come from? Did we not do research on this? Oh, that is a big exchange. Not too bad for Taquito. Keeps Daigo locked into the corner, although the damage output definitely in Guile's favor on that exchange. Going into it. Again, a couple of booms coming in. Yes, the KKB finds the mark. I'm liking this a lot, but still Daigo is trying to be as active as possible, moving out of the corner. Dashes out, yes sir, no! Taquito puts him right back in there, I like that. And here we see the trigger activation coming in from Daigo, and a couple of booms coming out as well. Moving himself into the mid-screen, but the trigger should be coming out very soon. The jump in from Taquito and more than enough damage. EX dash punch looking at set point. Looking into it again, we got to see Daigo already spending that bar, but it's going to be a little too late. Crush counter coming in. Now into the corner.
Wow. Big combo, try to go for the shimmy. It is gonna be a 3-0 right there for Taquito. It's really looking like it's on point right there. The challenging of the down medium kick right now from both players. Taquito wants to land the down medium kick. Nice anti-air. Okay.
Oh.
Taquito, the sneaky dashes right there. Daigo not reacting too well. And another jump medium into the down medium, ending the round. Taquito!
That was a full-on sweep, 3-0. A perfect example of taking advantage of the away and home system. You get yourself into the right position to face off against your favorable matchups. But I will say, even with that information, Taquito pulling out the Balrog, completely unprecedented. No way anybody would have called Balrog coming out from the side of Taquito.
Yeah, there's something about this home away system. There is no way Taquito can pick Balrog if it's on the away, which is the next time they'll be playing, you know, FAV will be on the away side, and that time Taquito cannot be picking out Balrog, because if he pick Balrog, you know, he will get counterpick and Daigo will not be surprised. He will not even be at the chance to play against Daigo. So the good thing about the home system is right now, he has the chance to secretly pick a surprise character, counterpick Daigo, and net the win 3-0, scoring for the team 3-1. Now going to the top 2 of the table right there. I'm a fan of this team right now.
Yeah.
Absolutely big fan.
It's so crazy also, just a side note, to see Bonchan and Sakonoko on the same team, because they pretty much have been rivals. They've been facing off each other in every like major tournament lately, and it's been back and forth. So seeing them in the same side of the league is actually pretty interesting. As we can see the stats coming into it, 40% on the anti-airs from Taquito, stopping Daigo in his tracks, but no reversals, no invincible reversals, you know, obviously. Daigo actually, I feel like Daigo got jumped in on twice. He committed to Sonic Booms, but I guess that doesn't count. But either way, 0 for 1 in terms of anti-air and no invincible reversals. We actually didn't see a single EX flash kick come in from the side of Daigo, which is really surprising.
I think Daigo didn't have a chance at all to be like follow up with the pace of Taquito. Can't even have a good position where he can do an EX reversal. It went really fast for Taquito to be like, you know, with those down medium kick. It's definitely something that I don't see a lot of boxer. Most of the boxer does a lot of medium buttons, but hit confirming the down medium kick is something very new that I don't really see.
You don't see it as often with boxer in general, right? You would see that medium kick come out a little bit more often when a boxer has V-trigger ready, right? That's like a common route to expose the low and go into a trigger. But Taquito uses it as a poking tool more often than not, which is a very awkward scenario afterwards because it leaves him point blank.
He definitely strengthened the use of this down medium kick, you know, and I feel that every boxer in the world that are watching this will be starting to hit confirm their down medium kick a lot more often. As you can see, Taquito do at least more than 6-7 times. And after this, there'll be, what a great play right there. So I really want to see what they have to say. The translation will be coming, and I'm very excited to see what they actually say, because this is definitely such a surprise pick right there. So I wonder what's going on in Taquito's mind.
So this is something that's very expected coming in from the interview from a team like this that takes it very seriously, or at least majority of them take it pretty seriously. Taquito's saying that they expected a few variations of lineups from Mildon Beast. And it's something that we kind of talked about too with the order, and having that secret boxer absolutely paid off. One of the big factors of Team Mildon Beast, I feel like Daigo more often than not on away is going to try to be that gatekeeper, going to be the guard either in the beginning or as the anchor position. So I'd imagine Sakonoko had some sort of strategy against that, or some sort of expectations towards that.
I think they just have too many options. I feel that, you know, Sako with Manat, you know, is a really great pick against Daigo as well. But then Daigo definitely practiced a lot with Manat and Urian, so he felt really confident. That's why he went for the away anchor, trying to score 2 points. And definitely surprised to be seeing a boxer out of nowhere, something that he has not been practicing, you know. So this is a secret weapon that Taquito has been preparing against Daigo, you know, in the first place. I am very, very surprised. And Taquito's boxer is not new, because I have seen Taquito's boxer playing here and there ever since he played on the hitbox, but I never seen him bust it out in a tournament. So this is the moment he's busting out, and I really appreciate that.
I know what's funny about that is like they had a record of 3-1 in terms of the points scored from Taquito rocking 2, Ryusei getting his matchup as well. Sako actually said that he originally wanted to go against Fudo, but they had a last-minute swap to Bonchan. And you can see Bonchan's response to that. He's like, well, he did what he could. They also asked if Taquito was feeling all right using Boxer on such an occasion for the first time, but Taquito said he was feeling super confident because he had secretly trained a lot with this character. And it's exactly what you said, right? You checked out a CFN. There wasn't too many usages of Balrog in his matches.
Yeah, and ever since Taquito switched to the hitbox, you know, he has been training more on the charged characters. And his boxer is a character that comes out time to time, but, you know, this is just rare to be seeing right here. And now we get the score highlights. Today, Nagoya Oja Bodystar against Jugun. Draw 2-2. Means all draw games for Nagoya Oja Bodystar. And B6 plus FAP Roto Z 3-1, netting a nice win right there against Milden Beast, making them the top of the table. 10 point, scoring at the top. Very good position to be at the start of the league. This is gonna be a comfortable week to week to go for the team. That's for sure.
Right, we see a significant change-up there. Actually, a slight change-up all across the board. Not too bad for FAV being at the top of the leaderboard now, and Mildon Beast getting one more point as well. The bottom four still have plenty more games to play. Looking at the schedule as well, the next time around, we're going to see Good 8 Squad go up against Nagoya Oja Bodystar, as well as Team Gyogun face off against Mildon Beast. And until then, we'll see you on Thursday at the same time for more Street Fighter League Pro JP.